Can y'all hear me? Something going on with my YouTube already. Because I can't see nobody. If y'all saying, hey, hold on. Here we go. I think it's slow. I think something going on. Something going on, child. Got some observers in here. First and foremost, thank you, everybody. I'm going to say this because I'm getting a lot of questions from people concerning something that I said in the last live. By no means am I backing down in what I said. I still stand 10 toes down on everything I said. However, I'm coming to bring clarity. And it's talking about the Archangel Michael issue. Oh. One of the reasons why I feel compelled, I'm going to get right into it. Hey, hi, hello, everybody for coming to my channel. I'm so grateful for y'all, whether y'all are subscribed or not, whether y'all like to thumbs me up or not, it don't matter. Hey, how you doing? I hope and pray that love and light comes your way. Crown of Success soap is restocked. First come, first serve. I will be giving away the soap on this live. And I will be mailing out all orders today. Okay? If you order it today, it's getting mailed out today. Three. Okay, now we're starting. I said on my last live that don't you think that there's a possibility that Archangel Michael is not who you think Archangel Michael is? Hey, Emily. Hey, Nova Star. Yes, I stand 10 toes down and 20 feet tall on what I said. Yesterday, I was in a store and a younger lady that I know, the soap already working. Go, Emily. Go, Emily. Okay, so I was in a store and I don't know this young lady to like call her a friend, but she's a very sweet little girl. She's really younger than me. She's a sweet little girl. And I think she's a Cajun girl, so she got a little cute little button nose. But anyway, I noticed that she takes to things that I say, certain words that I use, like perks her ears. So that's why you have to be careful when you're talking to people and make sure that whatever leaves your mouth, you mean what you say, or because we are in human energy. If something leaves your mouth, and if you might have been in a height of anger at the time, be quick to be quick to correct it. Okay, this ain't no correction. I'm letting that be known right now. All right. So I was talking to this young lady yesterday, and she was telling me about her husband and her kids, and we were just having like, casual conversations or whatever. And I did not mention anything to her, y'all. I didn't mention nothing to her. She came out of her own mouth and said to me, you know, I don't know why, but I always get a little squeamish when people mention Archangel Michael because I really do believe that he's evil. Y'all, I have no reason to lie. I did not mention angels, demons, nothing. The reason why that had to happen yesterday was because after I got off this last live, before the live before this one, I was so hot and heated from the injustices that has happened to innocent people, to people who are really out here doing right and living as best as they know how with no malice on a daily basis. You understand? I was hot and I kept getting signals that I have this righteous indignation, like, hey, you are gonna have to cool some of that down, whatever, whatever. But at the end of the day, cause I know my mouth is lethal. I don't care though. I do care when I'm supposed to care. But when I don't care, I'm not gonna care. But somebody said that don't make sense. It makes sense. You're just not listening. But this young lady brought that up, and my guides had to show me, because after I got off that live, when I mentioned, Archangel Michael and him not being good, I felt this conviction in my spirit. I'm gonna tell y'all why. Well, not conviction. I was convicting myself, but God was telling me that I was doing right. Let me tell you what ended up happening. I had been feeling the need to say something for a very long time now, and I didn't. I had been coming on this live wearing this mask. And the reason why I say I was wearing this mask, because every time I would go into a tarot deck or I would be in an angel deck, and I'm not saying all angels are bad. You just got to hear me. I'm talking about this specific angel in particular. There are other ones that is praised throughout culture and folklore that I also believe fell alongside him. But I'm not talking about them yet. I'm talking about him. So I was feeling bad because I kept telling God, I was like, look, I said I had been holding this back for a very long time, afraid. Every time the Ace of Swords would come out, and I could feel, I would say, Archangel Michael energy, y'all would see my demeanor change, but I would keep talking. Every time Archangel Michael would come out of an oracle deck and I was on a live, I would have to scramble to shift my energy so y'all won't really be able to read how uncomfortable I was. But I'm really not trying to cry because this shit is personal. Because violations is real. It's not just real in the physical realm. When I told y'all that body jumping stuff is real, I know who this person is in human form. And I know they ain't shit. Like, you see that train? Confirmation. If I was to drop this person name and say for sure and it ain't alleged, you know, let me say it like this. There has been a lot of energies masking as other things. But one thing I am extremely sure of is, the twin energy of Lucifer and Archangel Michael, you know, by our Lucifer really being the free spirited light bearer, and Archangel Michael being the one who was the son who stuck by his father's side and did everything his father said, but was bitter when the rebellious son went out there and played and then came back and was not only forgiven by the father, but was still given the inheritance, because Archangel Michael felt like, well, he didn't cause you all this pain and made you cry, made you, sad and worried. And now that he came back, you ain't gonna put him on punishment. And I've been here day in and day out, being sensible and practical and doing everything you said and not falling outside of your laws and not falling out. And you mean to tell me he gets exactly what I get? So what's the difference between him and me? And then that's where the rebellion of Michael came from. So you got to understand, there is some things, y'all, that has been hidden for a very long time. Somebody like me who holds this kind of information, It ain't easy to let out. 11:11 was on the clock, but it was 11:21. It's not easy to let out because real people who carry real information like this is not quick to just blabble it because they know that people's faith is at stake. Sometimes you gotta spoon feed folks. Sometimes you gotta spoon feed people because, yes, Paradise J, thank you for your donation. We are talking about Archangel Michael, fallen angel Michael. We have to spoon feed folks because there is a such thing called as a cognitive dissonance, and people underneath that cognitive dissonance is a Stockholm syndrome. They will fight you 12:12 and 12:11 on the clock. They will fight you to hold on to what they believe and perceive as true, even if you got proof in their face. And somebody like, well, you ain't got the proof. Let me tell you what's getting ready to happen. There is so much pressure on a certain, there is so much pressure in Rome right now to release specific information to the masses that is archived, because there is getting ready to be an unveiling that NASA and your governments worldwide is not going to be able to explain. This is not alleged. This is about to happen. I'm telling you what's about to happen. You can't find it in the 66 books because they took it out. It's been written in manuscripts that's older than your Bible. It's older than 16th, 11th century energy. That's why they've been trying to hide it and they can't hide it no more. There is an unveiling of certain particular ancient energies that's been watching over humanity, watching us evolve and destroy ourselves and elevate all at the same time, that is getting ready to come to the forefront because we have crossed the threshold that we can't reverse. And the Vatican has papers. So the same church that told you that you needed a middleman to see God is going to have to explain why is God coming on a chariot. For those of you who know what I'm saying, because I'm speaking in parables right now when I said God coming on a chariot. Swing down, sweet chariot, stop and let me ride. Let's go where they got that from. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I told y'all to watch Cosmic Slop. Ben told y'all to watch that. Out of the 3 stories in Cosmic Slop, produced by George Clinton, who received the funk from a chariot driver. Because, see, you can't pray this away. You can't pray this away. It is coming closer and closer to disclosure. And they've been scrambling and trying to figure out ways how to prolong it, how to stop it. If we can't stop it, how to delay. It's enough. Time is going to happen when you least expect it. That's why they told you keep oil in your lamp so you can be therefore ready. And I'm telling you because I can't hold it in no more. Anytime you got mainstream Christianity pumping up something, you better question it with every fiber in your being. If you don't believe me, question it and research for yourself. And don't just stick to the Bible. Go to esoteric knowledge. Go and find occultic knowledge that will challenge you. If you keep going to what you're comfortable with, you're not going to find the truth. I sat here and wrestled and debated with listen, y'all, I was beating myself up after that live off of that one thing because I said, Lord, somebody, somewhere, somebody's faith is going to get shook because I didn't unleash that truth. And God said, no, you did what you were supposed to do and you're going to keep doing what you're supposed to do. They don't like it because it's the truth. I would mention Archangel Michael on here when I would be pulling cards and different things like that. But y'all ain't never heard me really go in and say, "Oh, I love Archangel Michael." I never really felt a connection with Archangel Michael. I never found it. I never felt it. Oh, she's so demonic and she. Listen, bro. It's a part. You know what? Who tried to tell us? Was that Led Zeppelin? Right before that girl said what she said out her mouth. And then she said this. She said, I know you think I'm crazy for saying that. I said, no, I don't think you crazy for saying that. And I was getting ready to tell her that I went into and did a YouTube video, but I didn't. I just let her talk because I just wanted to see where this was going because I wanted to cry when this young lady was saying this to me yesterday because this was confirmation that I had did what I was supposed to do. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. Those of you who are here to carry the light, you are considered Lucifer in the eyes of people who want to keep the truth hidden. Folks who is operating under a false light. My middle name literally translates to light bearer. I promise you I'm not making this up. My middle name. I was born to do this. And I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm somebody's cup of coffee. And I don't care who doesn't like what I'm saying. You cannot kill or crush the truth. It's going to rise and defend itself each and every time. She then furthered herself to say she had been watching. She said, she was like, I had started watching Lucifer on Netflix, the series. And she said she had got to the end. I think she said the last season. Now, funny enough, I had started watching Lucifer 2 years ago when I was still in Phoenix, Arizona, and I never finished it. I don't even think I even got halfway into the series. That's how surface level I had been watching it. So I didn't even know that any of that was in there. Okay. So then she said how she had got to the last pieces of watching Lucifer, the series on Netflix, and how it came out that Lucifer was really the good one, and something about somebody switching places or trading, something like that. And I just stood there in awe that this conversation was coming up at the time that I had beat myself up so bad about saying it. Listen, I am not here to hurt you. April, welcome to the Epic Mystic side. You in for a ride because you catching us right where you may enjoy yourself. That's all I'm going to say. She was just my heart. I really wanted to cry because I felt the energy of relief. And then I had got some confirmations here and there. But yes, was it yesterday? No, the day before yesterday when I was on the live, when I first told y'all about, there's a possibility that Archangel Michael is not who you think he is. When I said that, I did get some of you in the comment sections. And some of y'all had even emailed me privately. And like I said, I stand 10 toes down on what I'm saying. There's 66 people in here. What I'm getting ready to say next is going to shock you. For some of y'all, you're going to understand it. But you know when they say there's nothing new under the sun? Okay. Listen to me. God had to remind me right before my life was threatened in Phoenix and I had to run. I had put out I had manifested something. I'm gonna tell y'all exactly what it was. A few days, maybe a few or a couple of days before the manifestation came true, I just did it as a test just to see if it was true, if it was real. I put out there in the universe, I said, I want to manifest coming across a Nephilim. And I also put specifics behind that. Well, not only did it happen, but it happened with witnesses. I was outside at night after I had got through singing at a gig. I was talking to two people who I thought were my friends. One was a male, one was a female. And as we were talking, I felt this strange energy, but I didn't see anybody. There's a building. I was at the time I was in my ex-husband's truck. Okay, at the time he was my husband, but now my ex-husband. I was in his truck because I took care of his truck a lot. The vehicle that I used to have had no AC, and it in temperatures reach about 120 degrees in summer heat in Arizona. And so instead of helping me to fix the vehicle because I was paying a lot of the bills and I bought all everything anyway. That's a whole nother. I'm not about to go into all of that. I ended up having to use his vehicle, but I kept his vehicle up. I made sure the maintenance was straight on. Like I treated that vehicle like he was my own. Never dogged his stuff out. Nothing. We was leaning up against the truck, and I felt this energy before I could see him because it was a masculine energy. Before I could see him come around that building, I felt him. I looked up in mid conversation when they was talking. I looked up and I did like this. And the young man, he was a Cancer sign. He picked up on my energy before the other young lady did. And he kind of gave me this look. He said like, "What?" I said nothing, but I kept looking and then I kind of like did like this and was talking. And then I heard, "Look." And so I looked again and it was this man who was not melanated, by the way. He had on thick glasses and a jacket. He had on a jacket at night. And it's hot at night in Phoenix. He was walking real slow, walking toward us, and my heart started doom 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 doom. Cause I knew this was I knew off the bat this was manifestation. I knew it. I knew it was the manifestation. But I didn't say nothing to either of them. Now, the closer this man got, the Cancer sign male looked up, looked at me like, if you freak out, I'm freaking out because I feel something that I can't explain. But I got a poker face because, air sign. I'm like, okay, I know that this is. So I'm like, okay, it's three of us. If this Nephilim get weird, we gonna jump. We gotta jump. They better not run because I'm a fight. I'm not running. So I was like 255. I was 255 pounds at the time. I was wearing heels. I'm like, and it was some strappy heels too. Like I can't kick these suckers off and start running. So I'm gonna have to fight you. So I was like, okay, whatever. But the closer he got, though I could feel his energy was huge, I felt the peace. I didn't feel the need to have like this guard. And he got closer and he said, "I like your truck." And I said, "Thank you." He kept walking. Didn't stop his stride. He kept walking. The reason why I bring this up, y'all, the reason why, listen to me. The reason why I bring this up is because I told y'all in a couple of lives ago, or maybe the last live, I said the allies that we were going to see form was going to be shocking because it was going to be some people moving from the darkness to ally with the light. You hear me? Now, what I meant by that was it was going to be some people turning away from doing wickedness and evil, though they were still going to be in the dark energy because that's what they're called. Some people are called to be chaos workers. Some people are called to be light workers. Chaos workers are not necessarily evil, and some people who masquerade as light is not necessarily good. That's why you got to have discernment. It was 25, 25 on the clock, 7, 7. But I'm telling you, I just heard "nuck if you buck." Now, where would that came from? I was pondering on this because God had brought this to my attention, had brought it back to my memory. And I heard God say, "Do you remember that?" And I said, "Yes, I do, vividly." And God told me these words: the next chapter in your life is going to, I want you to pay attention. It's going to surprise you, not in a bad way. It's going to be a good thing. And then brought that back to me to let me know what was getting ready to happen next. And I said, "What?" I said, "Nah, man." And then he brought me to the scripture dealing with Abraham. Real quick, just real quick, hold on to me. In the Old Testament, there is a story that your pastors don't preach on because they can't explain it to you. But there is a scripture in the 66 books that talks to you about Abraham and him having to rescue his nephew Lot, right? So a lot of people, they always talk about the Sodom and Gomorrah energy. They're always talking about the Sodom and Gomorrah energy. But there is a part dealing with him having to rescue family members up against, I think it was 5 kings. These 5 kings themselves had what you call Anunnaki blood mixed into them because they were an ite. Okay, like Amalekites, all of them ites is that Anunnaki conflict blood mixtures. When you got the king Bashan, I think king of Gog or Og, named King Bashan, when they said he was so tall and so huge, I think he was taller than Goliath. And Goliath, the ancient measurements, that how tall Goliath was in modern day interpretations mimics 15 feet. And this king was bigger and taller than him, to the point to where they had to make his bed out of casted iron. Now this is written and recorded. Not only have they found this written and recorded in biblical text, they have went to ancient sites of Babylonia and unearthed pottery and other artifacts of Akkadian energy and language that translates what was written about that king was true. Abraham could not go up against these kings by himself. So he enlisted help. Okay. The help that he enlisted was 2 Nephilims from a place called Mamre, Mamre, which were Nephilims, offsprings of fallen angels. Make a long story short, they kicked ass, got their family members, and got up out of there. There are things that people are not going to be able, listen, I'm trying to tell you, you yourself is getting ready to go through something that you're not going to be able to explain. And the allies that's being sent to you, it's going to be some strange energy with these folks. And you're not going to be able to put, if for some of y'all, it ain't going to be folks that's tall. It's for some of y'all, it's going to be little 4'9", 4'11" little imps. And y'all going to be wondering, what is that? It's little phase. For some of y'all gonna find out when I said that not all people from the Satar or Satar lineage is sexually assaulting of the phase. You know, not all of them are bad. You're getting ready to find that out. Listen to me and listen to me carefully. There is going to be, if they don't do it now, they're going to have a hard time winning over the trust of not just the American people, but people worldwide, because these truths are being exposed, unearthed, uncovered, unveiled, whatever. There's no more veil. That's why this is all coming out. There's no more veil. There's no more veil. So how can you explain it if you don't get ahead of the curve and not lie for the first time? Because we know that the old regime is no longer in power. We get that. Everybody's knowing. It's so much stuff that we as a collective is finding out because we're in the age of Aquarius and the lightning bolt has been hitting. And the towers are shaking and things is falling and they can't explain none of this stuff. Some of these people don't want to explain this stuff because they're like, well, we got the small last amount of power that you don't have any. Come clean so you can grow with. Because if you don't come clean, you're going to be cosmically held responsible over a time loop that you're not going to be able to get out of, which means it's forever. So when I said, have I ever thought of the possibility of Archangel Michael being evil, I meant that with every fiber in my being. And then I seen somebody drop something about the series Superstition. I'm not too sure. I've never watched Superstition, though I have walked in on my mother years ago, when I used to fly my mom back and forth to Phoenix. And, I used to tell y'all that when we were in the Mystic Circle, when I said I used to miss my mom and all this other stuff, I would fly her back and forth to Phoenix, and she would come and watch Superstition on the Netflix, and I never really could get into it. But apparently, Archangel Michael has a character in there that is also exposed as being evil. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it's a lot more where that come from. It's a lot more where that comes from. I know when I say this, everybody is going, listen, Lord. I was just told don't. And it would make sense how the story of the prodigal son would fit the narrative of Archangel Michael and Lucifer. But if they're twins, they're both equal, which means why would you expect your daddy to be harsh with him if he's not being harsh with you? Which means this is a mirror and a direct reflection of you. Jealousy all around. Lucifer probably was jealous of the fact that he felt like Michael was the favorite. But then which is Archangel Michael would be considered the golden child. The scapegoat or the black sheep would be Lucifer, because it's like, okay, let's say, for example, okay, so I'm in heaven and like we got all these nice little clouds and it ain't no night and it's always AC in this mug and then we just feel good. It's a all day long and it's just beautiful angelic activity. I'm bored. Look, I'm bored. I want to see what's going on down there. I want to see, because we've been given this is the thought process. Do you? Somebody say angels don't have free will. I don't know. Do they? Do they not? Because apparently the ones that's falling is running around here acting a plumb fool. They acting a plumb hot mess. Why is the Our Father prayer the Our Father prayer? When you translate it directly from Aramaic, which was which existed before Latin and Greek, the Grecian language. When you translate it directly from Aramaic, it ain't saying nothing about no daddy nowhere in there. It is literally talking about divine mother, divine father, and paying homage to the cosmic energy that gives earth her substance, that in turns give us our substance, and to help us raising our vibrational energies. It's something along those lines. I'm just saying it verbatim. I mean, paraphrasing it, but I've read it before. So it makes you wonder who they got you praying to, since they done tampered so much with stuff. It's so many different gods in that Bible. When God said, I am a jealous God, thou shalt not have no other gods before me. They was something, he was talking about the gods of wood and stone that man was making with his hands. That's not who that God Enlil was talking about, or Yahweh. A strict God. That was the God that you couldn't even blink wrong. So I'm sorry, y'all. I'm over here eating and stuff. You couldn't eat wrong. It was a strike you dead. You had to repent for everything. Every 5 seconds, you got to slaughter a goat because something was wrong. This is the God that got y'all growing up under. This is the God they had us grow up under. Listen, like I said before, 10 toes, I'm standing 10 toes down, LAA Designs, and 20 feet tall. When I said to y'all on the last slide, if y'all want to keep praying to him, if you feel like you've gotten results, then by all means, keep doing that. I ain't fighting nobody on nothing. You speak the truth and then let that thing play out for what it is. Because at the end of the day, anything you say or I say is going to be tested. Anything you say, I say, they say, we say, over there say, it's always going to be tested. So I'm just telling y'all right now, I ain't scared. I'm not. I was saddened and I was like, oh my God, why did I say that? Because I know it's going to shake people's foundations. And God had to let me know. Look at that distraction. God had to let me know, no, you said it. You said the right thing. Because I'm about to expose some stuff. And they need to hear it from you. Because there's other people saying it and folks ain't believing them. So guess what? I'm saying it. And I don't know. I ain't looked at nobody's, videos or nothing. I'm just telling y'all. I'm telling y'all what I know. And look, I ain't mad at nobody. And what I'm saying hurt y'all feeling so bad and y'all press the unsubscribe button. Peace be unto you. You're not hurting me. I don't say that in ego. I say that in love. Because some people will try to make it seem like they want you to cry over them leaving your channel, or they want you to cry over them not viewing you no more. No, I'm not for you. And it's simple. With love. Bye. I hope you find what you're looking for. But at the end of the day, you can't outrun the truth. And I'm going to tell you something. I done had to face truths with my own belief systems that has hurt me. But over time, I had to understand these things, whether I like them or not, was what they were. And it was what it was. Yeah, I stand in my sovereignty. Like I said, and what I'm saying ain't disrespectful. I ain't trying to hurt nobody, but if you understand where I'm coming from and you know my heart, I'm not about to sit out here and explain XYZ to you to make you feel better. You're gonna feel the truth. And what it is what it is. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Don't trust me, third eye. Look, I'm not saying this to hurt you. Don't trust me, trust God. Trust God. I know plenty of entities that will answer your prayers so you can start trusting them. There's a lot of draining energies out there that want to find hosts to latch on to. Now, this is the crazy thing. They cut this grass not even a week ago. Why you out here cutting something that ain't grew yet? This is how I know what I'm saying is the truth. Listen, anybody, any of us that has really been asking God, the higher masters, whoever you call God, to go higher and ascend, you're going to get the truth. None of us are exempt. Look, right by my window too, look. Ain't that some shit? I said I wasn't going to cuss on this particular live because I did so much last live, child. It was like, ooh. Look, it is so much activity right now. I done had so many vehicles pass back and forth. And this person on this lawnmower. Look. I almost yelled out there. I almost yelled to that man just now. That's how I know when I'm saying it's true. Y'all, if I showed y'all this man is not cutting. This man ain't what is funny? This man ain't nothing going. Y'all, this man keeps circling around the window. Boy, I promise y'all, I'm not making none of this up. But see, this is what happened when people are so low vibrational. They can be used by entities and other people who know how to body jump. That's what happens. This man being used right now. I can look at it. I have seen body jumping so much that at this point I can look at somebody and tell when they being jumped into their bodies. Look, I could tell, like, it's obvious. And I can see the person who does it. I can feel that energy. And I feel him right now. I can see it. And then he's stopping right here. And it's just going. Now, yo, this is amazing. Let me see what you said. Dominique, funny you bring up Jesus, because you said you thinking about the same thing of Jesus. I did a study over 10 years ago about the name of Jesus. Y'all see that? Now he done, and another one started. I find it funny, to be honest, because it always proves, is he really coming from the other side to this side? It was one in the front, now one is in the back. Yo, it's not the same person. Y'all heard he just dead stopped, right? Y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all, this is when they don't want you to speak the truth. Years ago, I had did over 10 years ago, I was told to break down the etymology of the name Jesus. And we do know that J is the last letter to be added to the alphabet. The priests of the Catholic Church and the Jewish faith agreed to hook the I. Okay. And so when you got names like Isaiah, Zachariah, and it's IAH, it's actually supposed to be a Y. Okay. So anytime you see a J there, it's really a Y. So this is why you got people saying Yahweh Shai and Yeshua, and they say all this other stuff. Let me just say this. When I broke down the name Jesus or Yeshua, it did bring me to Zeus, but that was surface level. What it brought me to was, and I haven't heard anybody say anything about it since, was the etymology of the word or the phrase earth pig, or pig of the earth. All right, 44 is on the clock. Now, I'm not about to sit here and go back and forth with anybody about the divinity of Christ or whatever, because we all know that there is a royal bloodline and a royal lineage that is not 100% human. And this is where you get Egyptian bloodlines from. The reason why they were able to call to the throne or claim royal priesthood or royal lineage was because they were mixed with blood of those that came from the cosmic skies that was worshipped by man. This is where you get Kodakatsu and different other winged serpent energies from Mayan backgrounds and Aztecan gods and goddesses. All right, the ones who were more openly, they were more open to talk about human sacrifices of those ancient times. Right, they would go above the pyramids, and in order for these, in order to appease these energies for showing their true nature to them, they would, give a human. Excuse my burp. Not all these energies and entities were for the growth and elevation of the human race. Me personally, anything that had to ask you for a human sacrifice is demonic. It's demonic. Anything that's causing you to have to destroy, and the reason why I say that, okay, so let me go back. Okay, It's unfortunate that the earth holds certain lineages that are destined to be extinct because of their evil. Okay, case in point, the children or the offspring of Cain. Now, there's somebody who may come along and transmute as much energy as they can, and though they may not be able to heal the whole of the Cain's lineage, they may be taken out in what they call, as the New Testament says, engrafted into another bloodline, right? So therefore, they're done away with the Cain or the Canaanite background and language or bloodline, but they're engrafted into another one, and then that blessing that they're engrafted into continues to go. So the engraftment, watch this, because it's double speak. With the New Testament, preferably Paul, with his infiltrating behind. Let's go there, because he told you a bunch of truth, and then was doing some other stuff. Paul, who told you in the book of Romans about, the engrafting in of what you call heathens. This double speaks come from, watch this, because I'm about to hip you to something. That double speak from there begats, watch this, the violent energy. This is going to hurt somebody feelings, but I got to, because it's the truth. It begats the violent energy of people justifying take our lineage and calling it their own, and then allying with people who was jealous of us. Case in point, I don't come from slaves. I don't. I don't come from. Do you come from slaves? I want to see what y'all gonna say. Do y'all come from slaves? See, I sat at the feet at 9 years old. I had a chance at 9 years old, and I also had a chance at 8 years old, and I had a chance. And when I was 14 years old, I sat at the feet of my great grandmother, my mom's grandmother, who looked exactly like Harriet Tubman, snow white hair, soft as cotton. I had the privilege and the honor of sitting at my great grandmother's feet, and she told me two things. She used to pick cotton as a child, and that we never came here on boats, that we was always here. That was the two things she would always tell me. I don't come from slaves. Now, was my offspring enslaved? Yes. But let me tell you why I don't come from slaves, and how you don't either. When you were already here, and you were already of the product of the land, you come from prisoners of war. You don't come from slaves. Slaves are people. Now, some of y'all do have the background of folks coming from a different country against their will to come to another country. But that's not a lot. Listen, the percentage of that actually happening was slim to none. Do you hear me? You call it what it is. When somebody comes on your land and crouch on your land, pillage you, sexually assault you, forces you to believe what they believe, it is now walking into the territory of a prisoner of war. And last time I checked, prisoners of wars got not just only apologies, but they got reprimands too. Did they not? Them prisoners of war from World War I and II, they got it. Matter of fact, those people get buried with honors, even though they weren't in the war, but they were prisoners of it. See, when you call a thing, you start to unravel the truth. So no, I don't come from slave blood. I come from prisoners of war. Now, my father's side may be a different story, but I know for a fact my mother's side, they were prisoners of war. They were already here. They didn't come from no boat. So the reason why I'm saying this is because when you got people who preach the energies of being engrafted in, they will use that and utilize that. Watch this. as spells of speech to say, oh, all we got to do is wipe out their mind and make his story, her story, and their story, and watch this, wipe out the memory from the computer processing unit and upload a false narrative in memory and have their children orate this down to generations until they believe it. And because now we're orally, by way of spelling, written and spoken and grafted in, we get to claim that we're you and get your benefits and your blessings while keeping you bound because you don't know who you are. The only thing that can engraft anybody into anything at this point in time where we are in the timeline that we're in the era that we're in, the age of Aquarius, is love. That spell work by way of the mind is not working. It don't work no more. There's no way anymore. This is what the old regime has always feared. Do you hear me? So yes, it's a problem. I got a problem when y'all telling people that the planets are so many million miles and eons away from Earth when they're within our atmosphere. I do have a problem when you are keeping the truth of the Earth not being round from people and how it's been debunked by physics teachers using train systems. Something as simple as train systems has been showing you day to day that the earth is not round. But then we got people, well, oh, she's a flat earther. No, I'm a truther. It's just simple. Some things are simple. Well, you mean to tell me they're going to lie about it? Yes. They'll lie about everything if it'll cost you your soul and your birthright. Yes, they will. They've lied to you this far. What make you think they won't lie to you about a simple letter called J? That was the last to exist that priests made up to hook the eye. You are going to believe what they say. But when they do you dirty, you complaining and you go back into your hole, you dig yourself in the ground, and it's your world and nothing else matters. Until stuff start happening directly to you. You better get your head out the sand and get your head out the behinds, if either the ones that you so far up that you can't see how your own life is falling apart because you keep ignoring the injustices around the world. You're going to get involved. What's getting ready to happen to you in your life is going to force you to get involved. You cannot tread on lukewarm energy. You're going to have to make up your mind. All of us got to. And we're getting ready to see who really bought that life. Who really is evil and who really is good. I'm like, well, evil and good don't exist. It does exist. Because it wouldn't be happening if it didn't exist. Y'all, some of y'all think y'all so evolved, y'all dumb. And I want to hear, well, you know how you talk, Rafiki, but a hit dog is hollering. If it don't apply to you, let it fly away from you. If you ain't the dummy, keep it moving. Some of y'all don't like this. It's tight, but it's right. This truth, a lot of these truths are going to be more stranger than fiction. So because you've never traveled out of your city, some of y'all so close-minded, you ain't never traveled out of your state. Some of y'all are afraid to even go out of the country. And it's a world waiting for y'all to discover pieces of yourself in this lifetime and last lifetimes that's going to help propel you forward. It's so much love out there waiting for y'all outside of these four walls, and y'all afraid. Y'all better do it in fear. So when you do it in fear, at least it's falling off of you. But if you're going to do it afraid. No harm shall come unto thee as long as you walking in love. You got this. And when you know who you are and whose you are, you know your time won't befall you before time. Some of y'all need to go to Iceland and see that unicorns actually exist. That there's a different type of horse that ain't found nowhere else in the world except there. Some of y'all need to go to Hawaii and to feel that energy of Pele standing a few hundred yards away from a volcano. Some of y'all need, because you were, that is your, of your bloodline of a past life that's calling out to you. But yet here we are going back and forth about what's real and what's not, what's true, and somebody else got the gnosis and somebody else got the download, and oh no, no, everybody else wrong. That person got it. Everybody wants to be exalted for what they know, whether it's the truth, whether it's made up, whether it's conjured, whether they researched it, or whether they got high and they came from on high. Everybody wants to be exalted for what they know. Don't exalt me. I don't care about none of y'all accolades. I love you, but I don't care about what you think about me. I just want you to hear what I'm saying. Test it for yourself. I don't care about none of that. I ain't trying to be on nobody's panel to be, well, you know, she got, no. If I'm going to be on somebody's panel, it's because if it's just for me to reach one person, I'm going for the souls and the hearts. I ain't going for no, what is that going to do for me? So you know what I'm saying? We, all of these so-called scholars, let me tell you, what's that man's name? Oh, bless the elder. He's passed away. But I seen a clip of him talking. He said, I don't debate my peers. I teach. That's exactly what listen, don't call me to no debate. I ain't debating you. There's no reason for me to debate you. If somebody says, hey, Rafiki, I want you to come and sit on this panel and tell me what you think, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to see what everybody else is saying. And then it's when it's my time to talk, I'm going to say what I need to say, and I'm going to look. Because somebody with an ego is going to try to conjure up something. Yeah, that may be true, but hey, you can put your 2 cents on. See, it's the heart intention. I don't care what you're saying. It's that spirit and what you using to say it. Trying to make yourself look better or more evolved than somebody. This ain't got nothing to do with it. This has everything to do with souls and people getting free from the lies that got them chained and bound so they can ascend. I ain't coming to nobody to see who's the smartest. That don't move me. I've been to a whole nother country. I've been to more than that. And have experienced a lot of stuff that I ain't even told y'all yet. I can write books on things. You'd be surprised what's out there. And how much places hold energy. Yeah, it's true that Arizona is a gateway to Africa. There was a time that you could take Arizona and get right to Africa. That's true. Are they telling us the truth about the maps? No. They'll mix a little truth in there and then give you a big old lie. That's like putting that's like saying, I want you to eat this fruit cake that I made. And just taking pounds and pounds of sugar and flour and making a big stupid sugary powdery cake and putting one raw cherry on the top. And because I put a one little small raw cherry on the top, I call the whole thing a fruit cake because it's got one piece of fruit on there. That's what these people's been doing to you. Us. I think about it every day, Candace. Because it wasn't just me. My children seen that with me. And it went on for what? 3, 4, 5 minutes? And I said, hey! Look, like a little dummy. It's a friend. I knew the thing wasn't human. Just me. My quirky behind. That thing said, turned around, walked back, and kept shape shifting. I was like, I guess that thing say, she don't know who she's saying hey to. She don't know what she's saying. Hey, we're gonna let the little quirky slow girl slide. Every time I think about that moment, I always felt like that thing was praying. Sedona is a very high powered place. It's an interesting place. Some places you're not ready to go because you haven't evolved where you need to be at in order to receive that place, or for the energies there to see that you come in peace. I will never forget, I was heading toward Shasta, and it seems like the closer I got, the further away I got. Y'all, it was when I was driving, it literally felt like my car was being pulled back. Like I was driving, but I wasn't getting nowhere. And I had to give up, and I turned around. And I was told why. And I will not reveal here why. But hell, I told y'all the story about that man in black that I came across. And I'll never forget that one either. That one was the more recent one. Um, that man in black that I came across, but he ain't the last one I didn't came across. Some of them are starting to opt for plain clothes now. Um, if you pay attention around you, you can kind of tell. They don't go around everybody. There's certain people that they go around, or that they look or watch. See, I must be telling that truth. That's right. LAA. Nobody knows everything. That's why we do um, share information. That's what we're here for. The goal is to share information to elevate each other and help each other ascend by way of liberty and freedom of that same said information, not to measure dicks and boot and titties to see which ones is longer and which ones sit prettier. Like that's what I meant by that. Oh, and I rebuke that. I return that back to sender. The other not you, LAA. I just seen something else. So, um, I want y'all to really think about this was to piggyback or to go back around to the whole Michael Archangel Michael conversation. Before that young lady said that out of her own, I didn't mention Archangel Michael, I didn't mention no angels or nothing. When I walked through the door, the young lady hadn't seen me in a long time, so she started just bombarding me with a lot of stuff. She was like, since the last time I seen you, so much happened, and blah, 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 blah. So I was just listening. Right before she started to spill into the Archangel Michael, how she was like, don't call me crazy, but I think Archangel Michael's evil. And she was like, hear me out. And she started, there was a other young lady who came in the store with a Led Zeppelin shirt. And I had been seeing these type of shirts lately. And I think, don't quote me, they're not the only rock band, but I think they either did Stairway to Heaven or Sympathy for the Devil, or both of them songs. And it makes you wonder, I'm getting chills. What did they know to create songs like that? Of course, Lucifer and the devil is two different entities now, y'all. Hear me out. But what did they know? What did they know? What did they find out when they got high? or when they got they download of information? What did they find out? I'm gonna tell y'all something. Um, there's this one song that to me was always a little bit strange. I don't see how people would really. Okay, so I've sang this song before. But it took me a very long time to even get to that point, because every time I would hear this song, I would get creeped out. Now, I'm gonna say the name of the song, and y'all not gonna. Some of y'all may not agree, and that's fine. I promise you, we can agree to disagree. I still love you. It was a song by a man by the last name of Cohen. I can't remember his name. Cohen, something Cohen. Cohen, by the way, in Hebrew, translates to priest. Right? It denotes a priest, someone from the priest lineage or priesthood. But it was called that dun 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 dun. Hallelujah, hallelujah. That song. I used to get freaked out. I always used to get weirded out by that song until one day I was prompted to sit down and hear that song with the lyrics pulled up. And then I said, so did this man just give us the formula to play out demonic spirits from a person who's being tormented by demonic spirits? Because remember, he's talking about when he says something about David blessed the Lord when he played something about a chord, and it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth. He's talking about chords on a lyre, aka a guitar, stringed instrument. That when you play this specific sequence in a certain sequence, it drives out spirits, tormenting spirits from a person. He's talking about in the book of, I think, First Samuel, when David played those same chords to drive out the tormenting spirits that King Saul, before David became king, Saul was turned over to tormented spirits. And David played those chords and drove those entities away from Saul. Okay. So I was like listening to that song and I'm like, I said, this sounds real demonic. And then I said to myself, is this a song for Lucifer? Y'all, every time I hear this song, I keep seeing like a face in the dark, but a face that's lit by a strange light from a candle, or like it's like, and can see like this eye, like the side of someone's face, but the eye is not human. It looks very strange. But every time I hear that song, I see that in the back of my mind, and I've always felt like that was Lucifer. The reason why I say these things, Leonard Cohen, thank you. Leonard Cohen, that's that man's name. And maybe because his voice sounds a little bit like, I'm no shade, Leonard Cohen. I know you hear, because he's since transitioned. But he looked very strange to me in his voice, the way he sounded. What a man on him learning, Lord. Like it's really weird. I can't explain it, but there are songs, y'all, that are here that has been created to kind of like give us certain truths, whether we know it or not, to help elevate us into something similar. Sidebar conversation. I want to ask y'all a real question. Oh, they had always been, well, music in itself is a ritual, LAA. Music, okay. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to ask my question because I really want y'all feedback. When they say in the beginning was the word was God and the word was with God, that's where Genesis starts. That is not where creation starts. That is the story where the humans got it, that they wanted it to pick up from. But Genesis started way before that. Genesis meaning the beginning. In certain African traditions, they call it Mawulisa, the cosmic two energies that come together to create the world. The truth is before the word was written, it was spoken. Before the word was spoken, it was thought. But in between the frequency of that thought was a sound, which was a song. The word sound actually tells you it's going to translate in so many words into song. So anything that is created has been sung into existence first before it was spoken or anything else. Okay. To carry something in a frequency means that it has to, like, even me speaking, I speak in an alto voice. There's a guitar player, I'm sorry, bass, well, yeah, he's a guitar player, it's bass. There's a bass guitar player named Mono Neon. Okay. For years, this dude been doing what I had been doing since I was a kid on my mama's Casio keyboard. I used to hear people talk, and I would find the keys in which how what key people would talk in. I would hit the key like, okay, this is a G. They G G, like, see how for example, when I'm talking, and if I would inflect my voice or like go up or down, I could find the key on a keyboard. I used to do that as a kid. This dude was doing this on bass guitar. So when you're talking in a frequency. But it has been scientifically proven that when you sing your affirmations, even if you don't have the best singing voice, when you sing your affirmations, it actually hits better. This has been proven. Yeah, I'm not saying, Constance, I'm not saying Leonard Cohen is demonic. I'm not saying he is or he isn't. I was just saying how that song used to freak me out until I listened to the song, heard the song with the lyrics. I was like, oh, this song ain't that bad after all. And then I would feel sympathy, and I didn't know why. That's really why I brought that up. And it started to make sense now why I would see that in the background. That maybe the person that's being praised is the one that's not good, and the one that has been talked down on is the one that we need to have sympathy for. I'm just saying, for that. Two eagles just flew by you. Okay, this is my question, and I'm probably going to end it here. What if the Disney franchise is huge, right? How many characters does Disney have? I mean, it's endless. But we know that the original headliners is Mickey Mouse and his wife Minnie Mouse, right? But we know that before his name was Mickey, his name was Mortimer. I don't know if y'all know this. I'm talking about Steamboat Mickey Mouse, like Steamboat Mickey, when they had to draw frame by frame on a loop to play it through the what you call it back in like the Western times, like old 19 way early 1900s, right? When Walt Disney first started the Disney franchise. Okay, yeah, exactly right, Constance. Um, they changed his name from Mortimer. I don't know why they did that to Mickey. We know that Mickey is a nickname for Michael. Okay, just hear me out. What if Mickey Mouse is loosely based on Archangel Michael? Just hear me out. Now you go back and you research the track record of Mickey Mouse. I'm talking about the stuff they put out there to make them look. I'm talking about you go back. What if Mickey Mouse is loosely based on Archangel Michael? That would also explain why Mickey Mouse Clubhouse was based on magic. Because Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, when my oldest was a little girl, she used to watch that faithfully. That and SpongeBob. And they teach kids how to cast spells. If you think I'm lying, you go back and watch any episode. The intro to Mickey Mouse Clubhouse in itself is a spell. Come on, say it with me, kids. Mama me, Mama Moo, Mama Mickey. Now, he is teaching kids how to cast spells. I mean, Disney is built on spells. Tinseltown, Hollywood, the wood of a holly tree is made in Druid Celtic faith or religion or path walk. You use that wood to lure someone to sleep. The wood of a holly tree. You cast spells of deception and illusion from the wood of a holly tree with the wand. That's why they call it Hollywood. The wood of a holly. They're telling you what they're doing. You just ain't been researching. You look, everything I'm telling you right now, go and research it. Don't just listen to me. This is the thing. I'm putting this out there so y'all can do the work. You footwork yourself into finding the truth for you. You may dig and find something that I didn't even say on here. Hell, you may put me up on something that I don't know. Follow the trail. Don't just, yeah. Yeah, they told us with Fantasia too. Mm-hmm. I do believe also Barney taught us how to lie. Tell my I love you, you love me. Bitch, you ain't like Baby Bop. Let me stop. Forgive me. I end it here. I'm done. That's the tea about this situation, y'all. I just kind of want to see where y'all, if y'all find anything interesting, drop it in the comment section below. I am going to be restocking the soaps. I just want y'all to know that I'm so grateful for y'all. Retribution soap will be coming back. Okay. Um, it is always good to use if anybody still has their retribution soap. If you're calling in money, and you feel like somebody could have been doing spell work on you, whatever, it's a shotgun approach. You want to bathe with that and then follow up with money, or switch it vice versa, because what it does is it keeps breaking curses while keeping your roads open. All right, this is kind of why I tell y'all some soaps y'all can use daily, and some soaps I tell y'all to kind of like teeter totter in between. Or if you're like me and you double up, you may use one in one setting, you double wash, and you use one in the next wash, like a different one. I don't know about y'all, but I do that, use two different things at one time. But I want y'all to, you said the dino. Y'all, it's a bunch of information out there. But y'all just keep y'all ears to the streets, because these people that was under contract to keep people asleep. Those contracts are broken and it can't be renewed. They're trying to renew it by giving up sacrifices and different things, offing people. And that's why you got, some of these folks is dying off, and they trying to pay these certain things homage, but it ain't working anymore because the time is up. The contracts cannot be renewed to keep people asleep, because the way that the celestial planets is aligning, it's just not. They listen. These beings are not fighting anymore for the truth to be suppressed, because they know that all things must come to an end. Some of them gonna get in their little ships and go back to their little whatever's, and leave these people who have caused all this stuff to have to clean up their own mess. Some of these people are not gonna want to clean up their own mess. This is why we're here. Okay, call yourself a part of the cleanup crew. You can't just be out here like Captain Planet. He's a hero. You just hero and saving the day, and you can't pick up no trash. So just know that even though we may not been the ones that contributed to the ills, that does not necessarily mean we can't clean up. We are a part of the cleanup crew. And so this is where we use our humanitarian energies, outside of being the superheroes, to just simply pick up the trash and throw it away. Physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. If you ain't called to dabble in between chaos and light, you just stay in your lane. And those who are, got this. All right. I hope that I've given y'all a lot to think about. That was my cue. I don't know y'all heard that. Ooh. All right. Next, oh, I was supposed to give away the soap. I'm so sorry. Supposed to give away the soap, y'all. Ooh, I'm so glad I caught myself. VK, I did. Um, Thank you, Paradise J. You just been giving me these donations, and I'm grateful. How to use perm rods? You better Google that. I don't know what to tell you. It depends on how you want it to look when you take them down. You're gonna have to look that up and see. You're gonna have to look that up and see. I mean, I could tell you the old school Jerry curl style is to bricklayer it, but again, that's you gotta go you gonna have to YouTube that to see how you can do that. That was really interesting that you would ask. I am gonna come back and okay, let me make this, hold on, before I give this away. I want to tell y'all this right now officially. I am not going to be giving y'all individual, hey, I didn't stock the, no. You're going to get notifications of stocking on the community board or on my lives. Okay? I'm not going to take my time to individually tell any of you that I have restocked the store. In love and respect, I'm not going to do it. So, y'all are all going to get the updates, and then you're going to have to go from there. If I try to, that's like favoritism. If I did that, all of y'all will want that treatment, and I it's one of me. I'm not. It's a lot of y'all. I wouldn't do that to myself. I wouldn't. That would be a lot of work, and it would be unnecessary. So that's how we're gonna do it, and just know, you will get it. Okay. Oh, let me write it down on a piece of paper that I don't want y'all to see. And can I use this? I'm sure about to. Oh Lord, Lord. Oh Lord, 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 Lord. All right. I am thinking of a country. Thank you, Siobhan. How are you? I'm thinking of a country. I've wrote this country down already. You got to guess it. Please give me your address right away so I can hurry up and mail this off. The videos don't help. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I'm so sorry it don't help. Who gonna get that free bar? It's ready to go. I'm thinking of a country. What is the name of the country? I've already written it down. Y'all better tap into your ancestors. Sending you love and light, Siobhan. Who was a gangster angel? Constance? Not Jamaica. Ta-pum, 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 It's not Australia. Somebody said that already. Somebody gonna close their eyes and tap in. Somebody gonna tap in. Go, Darlene. Go, Darlene. She said she got her soap. She ain't even trying to. Now, Paula, you can't be doing it like that. That's right, Constance. God got goons too, boo. Mm-hmm. My baby in here. How was school?
It's good.
My booski. Come on. Mama T. Mama T said Cali. I said country, girl. You might be on to something. Quiet as a cat. Where you getting nails from? They cute. Them some press on them. Some cute press ons.
Dollar General, I think.
Country, country, country. Come on, y'all. I love y'all, but I'm trying to get off of here. Stop! Educate to liberate. Got it. United Snakes. Educate to liberate. I can't stand you. I just realized you put United Snakes. The snakes was united.
You're so weird.
I am weird, ain't I?
Yeah.
I am. And guess what? You are just as
All
weird
of
as
your
me.
children are weird.
I know it, and I love it. Don't forget.
Can I?
Educate to liberate. Send me your physical address right now. Because I'm about to... I know what this person meant. Tell me what is not correct. They know what they meant. Come on, man. I am not going to take away this person's points because they said United Snakes. I knew, you knew, that person knew what they was guessing. And then I said, somebody going to tap in. I think that would, let me see. Now, educate to liberate. Now, before you said that, you said DC. And wait, you didn't even put in a guess in. That was the first thing you said was DC, and then you said United Snakes. Oh, so you was tapped in. You was right. Well, you listen. You a little deep for most people. I know where you was going. DC is its own country. DC is to America like the Vatican is to Rome. People don't know that though. I see you. Yeah, I'm weird. Okay, it's time for me to take my weird behind. I got to go. I love y'all. You was tapped in when you said Turtle Island. It wasn't wrote down, Turtle Island. Okay. I love y'all. I gotta go. Next time, I want y'all to think of some stuff that y'all want me to pull cards on. So when I come in, it's gonna be free for all, okay? The only way you can, if you do a super chat, is gonna be for me to personally read on you. But let's talk about some topics and stuff or whatever that y'all want me to read on the next time I come on the live, all right? Like if y'all always like, oh, I always wondered about this particular area, or what happened in the year, or what happened during that war, or what happened with Frederick Douglass or somebody. Like, we're gonna get into it by way of cards. So have y'all stuff written out, ready to go. It's gonna be soon. But I love y'all. Y'all be easy, be good, be safe. Seriously, I am sending my love and my light to y'all. I'll see y'all next time.